What's up, everybody? I'm on a lot of caffeine. I've been typing and I've been talking for hours, so my mind has been stimulated, and I'm still sort of here on Earth. When I put the blanket over me, it kind of depressed me, and some of my bandwidth left. And I want to talk to you guys really about what's going on here. Because shit's getting weird, and shit is weird in my head. And I'm not totally sure what's happening. But I know it has something to do with focus. And it has a lot to do with all this stuff that I would call energy that I Okay. The first thing I want to say, if you're watching my channel and you think I have mental illness, I think everybody has mental illness. I think there's something very wrong in society that pretty much everyone that I meet, and I can't speak for the rest of the world or the rest of the country, but from what I see on a day-to-day basis living in Vermont, rural or otherwise, I'm not going to bring up Burlington because that's a can of worms that needs to be shown to the public, but I would say from what I see, Vermont's very different than other places. Burlington is a city, so it doesn't count, but rural Vermont and even small towns like Brattleboro, from what I'm seeing, it seems like everybody has a problem with everybody, and nobody asks what the people they have a problem with need to solve that problem. They all assume that they know, and they overextend themselves or try to push them away out of their life. People don't care, but love to voice their opinion about how much they care. Does that make sense? A big thing is crime in Brattleboro. There's the Brattleboro retreat that funnels in all the homeless people from around New England. So they come there and they go down this one street. So you get tons of crackheads and crazies, and the town folk are all crazy. And it's beautiful and it's fun. It's hippie communes. It's people that like to dress up. It's a lot of LGBTQ. It's a lot of different stuff. But everybody seems to hate the homeless people because the homeless people do crack and they throw their garbage everywhere and they bark at people and then they fight each other and they steal from stores and they make it for others. So of all the craziness, the homeless people are the ones that nobody likes. And they're all talking shit, beautifully said, in the most eloquent way possible. They say we need to address this homeless crisis. So I put, oh, heavens, I do say that this homeless problem is a problem as the homeless people don't have homes. And I do think that the people that fight crime need to fight crime. I agree. We need to address these egregious statements immediately. Because everybody thinks that they have to write a paper to the newspaper to address this problem. And I put in the group chat full of all these old people bickering as eloquently as possible, hey, why don't we just tag the homeless people that you're mad about and ask them what we got to do to make them stop stealing? Why are they stealing? And what can we do to get them to stop? It's pretty obvious they're stealing because they can't buy it. So why don't they want to work? Oh, it's because the jobs suck and everybody's crazy. And most people that are traumatized and spend their life running through the forest in Vermont, hunting drugs, cannot stand in place for 8 hours and put on a show for tourists. So you have to look at what can we do to give them money so they don't steal from us and they buy it instead. And how do we filter the ones that want to quit drugs and want to better their life from the ones that don't? And where can we put the ones that don't? Right? Why don't you I don't know, maybe if they're coming from New York, why don't you just put them on a bus like, they're already not from Vermont, right? If they come here and they're not from Vermont, What's the problem with getting them a Greyhound ticket to somewhere else and saying, when you want to change, come back? And say Vermont is good with benefits and they are helpful, but they are helpful to people. And I've through homelessness, and I've suffered, and I'm an empath, so I really have and felt what it's like on their end. At least probably a lot more than the other people have. And I can tell you, for the most part, as long as you're I think that homelessness puts a lot of holes in you and depresses you to a point where you lose yourself. And it's very hard to get out of it, especially because the world is still fucked up. And American culture is full of crazies. And I do believe in spiritual vampirism. And I do believe that most of you do it. And I don't know exactly how much of what is real and what isn't, and how much is my mind and what isn't. I do have that spirituality stuff. I do have BDE. So listen. What helped me was being able to go out into the forest and not have to worry about getting killed by locals. Where I could sleep there as long as I wanted, and I could be out there by myself as long as I wanted, and have nobody bother me. Actually, my depression alleviated because I had deep rest, and I freed up my mind to think about better things, and I realized, hey, maybe I don't need the McDonald's. Maybe I don't need the cigarettes. Maybe I never needed those, and that was just my way of coping with the craziness and the violence of what I was experiencing. And then I was immediately jumped by the cops. Over and over and over and over and over again, I was immediately jumped by cops, creeps, cunts, crows, and crackheads. Every single day of my life is me fighting to get to a position where I'm healed and I'm not suffering. And then I get to that point, and then these things jump at me. And then I go into this pit of wallowing for months, trying to figure out what just happened to me, and processing and trying to fight and trying to make it work, and literally fight using the moon to heal me, and working with nature and the birds and trying to come back just to have them do it again and do it again. I get put in this cycle, and I understand this cycle a lot. So I know that the forest is an ecosystem that when you become a part of, it works you and nurture you. But also, I think that the more into it you get, there is a likelihood of you becoming a skinwalker. I'm not going to lie to you. I think the forest mycelial network can attach to the back of your head, and it gets into your mind like a hacker would get into a robot, and it pilots you like a VR headset. And I think that some people go in the woods and something gets them, like a fungus, go out, you heard me? They go out into the wild and they don't come back. And then you find a skinwalker out in the field going, help me, help me, help me. Because I think the fucking woods got him. I think the mycelium fungal network embedded in our mushroom brain. Doesn't our brain look a lot like a fungus? We pretty much do what mushrooms do. They just grow and then they nut everywhere. Right? It's pretty much what all our society is. All these people spewing their opinions out on the internet. It's just mushroom spores. So I think if this is not my world and you're all living in it, then America has a serious issue that can be solved by talking to each other for hours and just talking and talking. I think America could learn a lot from Ireland. And God, I want to fuck this bad bitch in Burlington tonight. But you know what? I got fat as fuck because I wanted to lose the weight. I wanted to get fat just to lose it again. You don't know me. You can't comprehend my motives. I'm a genius. I'm a god. I got fat as the fat cops. Oh, my testosterone took a toll. And you know what? There's this bitch in Burlington literally said in the group, she said, Burlington is evil and it's fun. And I said, are you evil and fun? And she said, I promise. And then she is a lizard, so I said, show me your lizard, baby. And she said, anything you want. And she's hot. But she told me she's evil. Why would she casually bring up she's evil? Why would she do that to me? Now, I don't want to do it. She told me she's evil. How are we feeling, guys? Is there anybody in the group? There's one person. I didn't delete you. What the fuck? I didn't delete you guys. What the hell happened? I did not. How the fuck did you get hidden? What's up, Tama, bro? Who's in the chat right now? I'm just talking shit. I've been going for 11 minutes. Guys, I don't know if we need to come to Jesus or not. Who left? Fuck you. It's probably my mom. Where's Lindsay? Lindsay states she's not my mom. Where's Lindsay? I want to talk to Lindsay. I'm going to all messages. Where's my mom's troll account? That bitch talked about herself on my birthday. You tried to ruin my birthday. You assumed I'm schizoaffective, when in reality, I'm afraid to think. I'm afraid to use my mind because I've been traumatized. But in reality, I'm just a genius. I'm a genius. Genius, I'm waiting for Lindsay to get back. We're going to have a long talk about everything right now. Who's in my chat? Address. Show yourselves. Or I'm going to put it back on my face and then come back to the comment section. Oh, they left. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, guys. Fuck you. I could be talking to bad bitches on Tinder. I could be talking to bad bitches on Tinder, but instead I'm here. You know what somebody said to me today? Somebody walked up and they said everything, single thing, all the different thematic stuff of my life, all the different little stuff that I say in my head when I'm imagining things in my head, all the daydreams I come up with. Some guy walked up to me and started spouting off the things I daydream about. Do you guys understand what that means? Really think about what I just said, that some stranger I've never met walked up today and started spouting off how cool these ideas that he has are, and he named all the ideas I'm coming up with in my head. Do you understand? He walked up to me and he told me things that I think about daily. He spouted off the thoughts that I come up with in my head. Think about it. So I spend all the time in my tent, and I think about things, and I daydream about things that would be cool to make, and things I want to make, and things that would excite me. Right? And then a stranger walks up to me and sits down next to me today, and he started talking about all the things that I think about in my head alone in my tent. And he's my age. He's 25. He's an autistic person. He's a cancer survivor. And he starts spouting off all the ideas that I came up with in my head. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Because this guy did. Somehow. So I want to take it to the limit. I have a lot of things I want to do. I'm excited to do it, but I understand that the world is fucking crazy. And I know I have to walk this little path. There are people that are crazy, and there are people that assume everybody's crazy but them. And there are people that assume I'm crazy because I'm different. And that's pretty much all it is. The entire world is insane. There's no such thing as sanity. There are people that pretend they're not crazy. And that's all it is. And I'm telling you, all this crazy stuff that happens in my life, and I show you all the crazy stuff, and nobody acknowledges it at all. And that's the most confusing thing I've ever seen in my life. Nobody acknowledges the facts about me predicting the spiritual things that happen. I literally use spirituality to predict events in real time. And I show you things that can only make sense with this high level of spirituality. And I don't understand how nobody gives a fuck. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody cares. People tune it out. They look away. What the fuck? And the only people that seem to care are tarot readers. Why is my fucking foot asleep now? The dizziness is scary. Holy shit. Oh my god. Is it called desensitization? Where I've kind of lulled myself into my comfort zone so much that even my foot, that sensation of my foot being asleep, gives me a trauma response and I have a panic attack? What disorder is that? Is that just PTSD? Where I've kind of put myself in the box to be comfortable in so many unsafe environments that even just this dizziness of my foot, this new sensation, gives me a panic attack. Like when I stand up too fast, I freak the fuck out. My senses get heightened and it's so terrifying to me that I have to like collapse and hide in the fetal position. Is being a pussy? Am I afraid of serotonin? That's something I need to discuss with a therapist. But I don't know what mental health issue you'd call that. Seems like nobody cares. Nobody wants to reveal the secrets of the universe. They fuck with me. The Matrix fucks with me. I'm worried that if I accept Jesus into my heart, it'll be like signing your soul to the devil. I think it'll be the same. I'm worried it's the same thing. I'm worried that in Christianity, when you give your soul to Jesus, it's the same way as giving your soul to Satan. And I'm worried that that's just like an elaborate lie on both sides, like Republicans and Democrats. And I'm worried that they're the same thing. And that maybe the whole point was to be unbiased and to know thyself. That's where I'm at. I don't know. I know that life is really confusing. Life is very confusing, guys. And do you know we have even government institutions are putting that we need to kill CEOs. Like this trend about the guy that killed the CEO. Like Seattle is posting billboards of saying one CEO down, a lot more to go. And like inciting people go hunt down and kill the CEOs. That's where our world is at, guys. And you don't think they're gonna laser us? They lasered an entire island and built their bunkers on an island, killing a lot of people and displacing an entire indigenous community. And you don't think they're gonna nuke us if we try to kill them? But nobody wants to talk. Nobody wants to say suddenly. So I don't know what the fuck to do next, but I think that when I stop doing things, I settle back into craziness. Like I'm either one crazy or the other. And yeah, it's either people that wake up and do the most and they constantly have a working brain and they work all the time and their mind is constantly working, or they sit and do absolutely nothing until they start to do what they want. And then there becomes two levels of want and you have to find that integration. But from what I've seen, and I swear to God, I honestly believe that I'm seeing more people outside that are crazy than not. I don't even know how to put it. Actually, if I'm being honest, I think everywhere you go is exactly where you need to be. Like when I go into a public space, it's pretty obvious that it could go anywhere at any moment. But for some reason, everybody in the space seems to be kind of on the same wavelength everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, I'm not seeing differences. Sometimes it seems like I'm the only soul on earth, and all the people that I'm seeing are literally extensions of myself. And sometimes it feels like we're on a regular, normal world full of people. Can we at least agree that sometimes we have those experiences? That we're moving through different types of the universe? That the universe is flowing and changing based on us, and we're traveling through time? Because it's not just one place. I think the 5D split is literally our souls are transcending out of it. And I think that the fact that nobody is talking about it is really concerning. And the fact that you can't really find anybody on the internet that thinks this way, that doesn't feel tormented by the Matrix, is really concerning. I see a world where everybody's trapping themselves. When I go into public, it seems like everybody is trapping themselves. But I don't know. I'd rather go talk to the pretty girls on Tinder. Good night, guys.